don't know what happened in there.
Yes, once again, folks, thanks for joining us live from the headquarters of the Liberia National Police in Central Monrovia. My name is Aisindiva. I'm here with a team of staff from the Liberia Broadcasting System. I have my colleague Aaron Talo. Our chauffeur Jerry Stewart is also here. Today, the Liberia National Police invited 6 persons for a case involving the burning of the Capitol building that you know some months back. And it all started on the 18th of December 2024 when Liberians woke up to the news of the severe damage by a fire that authorities of the National Legislature confirmed and said was intentionally done. That situation, we saw the setting ablaze by reports which the fire originated near the speaker's podium in the legislative John Chamber and rapidly spread, destroying the rotunda. The 4th floor at the Capitol building. The fire caused over 8.6 million in damages and disrupted legislative activities. Fast forward, there was an investigation and a findings which was done from a comprehensive investigation led by the Fire and Rescue Alliance, a US-based team of retired fire chiefs, concluded that the fire was an act of arson. The team went on by identifying multiple initiation points and the use of accelerants such as ignitable liquids to spray the fire. They also discovered 8 1-gallon containers of flammable liquid placed near exits, suggesting a deliberate attempt to obstruct evacuation routes. The Liberia National Police and the Liberia National Fire Service supported these findings coming from the Fire and Rescue Alliance, and they ruled out electrical malfunctions as the cause The investigators noted that the building's electrical system was functioning at the time of the fire, eliminating it as a potential source. As the fire situation went on, there was a heightened political tensions in Liberia, specifically from the angle of members of the lower house of the House of Representatives. Protests had erupted over the removal of then House Speaker Kofi, an opposition figure accused of corruption, conflict of interest, and the lack of will by the speaker to have some members from the opposite side to be placed on lucrative committees. They accuse him of being a legal counsel to several institutions, to include the Liberia Petroleum and Refinery Corporation, the LPRC. ArcelorMittal was also mentioned, and other institutions. So that protest lasted for a while and resulted into the body dividing itself into majority and minority bloc. There are folks who were actually in support of the former speaker, Jonathan Kofi, and also some lawmakers who supported the current speaker, Representative Richard Nangwe of District 11, Masurado County. That situation led to members of the House of Representatives having an election that was presided over by the Deputy Speaker Thomas Farah. And during that election, the body voted to remove the former speaker, Jonathan Kofi. But then that was challenged with a bit of information sent to the Supreme Court of Liberia. And the court ruled that the actions taken by members of the majority bloc was unconstitutional. But what was even more challenging was for the former speaker to have a quorum legitimizing his speakership. Was something that went for months, and he did not bring to bear members honor Higabo to have quorum to preside over the body. So members of the House of Representatives honor the banner majority bloc decided to to move to move in the chambers of the House of Representatives to see whether or not the then Speaker, Jonathan Funanti Kofi, had the number to maintain his position as Speaker. And we saw the former Speaker and all other lawmakers, both from the minority and the majority, made their way in the chambers of the House of Representatives, where they met quorum and brought forth the issue of the removal of the Speaker. Since in fact they could have said they did not meet the issue of due process. So they went ahead and conducted the election. There were times where the period of nomination was open, and the name Musa Hassan Belete of District 7, Nima County, was proffered to go against Representative Richie Nangwe Kun of District 11, Masurada County, who was already a candidate from the majority bloc. In that election was presided over by Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala of Lofa County District 1 and the Chief Clerk Maigres Sion. Peace be to his ashes, the late Deputy Chief Clerk Komechie, who were actually on the side of the quorum team from the House of Representatives. And that election saw Representative Richie Nangwe Kun emerging as the Speaker of the 55th Legislature. Then there were folks who said, wow, we need a logical conclusion to the capital building saga. Liberians fought war for 14 years and that building was never touched. I wanted to look where you have $16 or 18 years of peace after the civil unrest, and that people will go ahead and burn the Capitol building. So the Liberia National Police was invited by members of the House of Representatives recently. There are other Liberians who believe that the issue of justice and logical conclusion of cases both from the police and the Supreme Court of Liberia should come to a logical conclusion so that people can be held liable for whatever decisions that the may have taken over the past time. So today, the Liberia National Police invited 6 lawmakers that they believe are in connection to the burning down of the Capitol building. Representative Priscilla Cooper of Mosurado County District 5 was invited, and she's still here. Representative Francis Afoko of Mosurado County District 9 was also invited. Representative Abu Banan Kamara of District 15 was also invited. Representative Josiah Mavinko of District 2. District 3, that is Bon County, was invited as well. And Former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Cheneton Fonati Kofa, was also invited. Representative Chikot Debbie, I saw him here. Jason Ulawi Sibo of District 16 was also invited. So, of the lawmakers that were invited here at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, where we are currently, District 9 Representative Francis Afoko is the only representative that left this place. So we are still anticipating the remaining lawmakers. Huge security presence at all of the entrances of the Liberia National Police. People are being asked to display their identity, especially for those wanting to go at the court. For the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. So, in January 2025, the Liberia National Police charged 39-year-old Eric Susse, a former elevator operator at the legislature, with masterminding the arson attack. Susse, along with accomplice still alive, is being accused of orchestrating the fire as part of a broader conspiracy to destabilize the government operation. The Fire and Rescue's families, the FRA, all also intensify calls for accountability and a thorough criminal investigation to uncover the motive behind the attack and bring those responsible to justice. So this is why we are here before the headquarters in central Monrovia, where the Liberia National Police have invited representatives of the 55th legislature of the House of Representatives of the Republic of Liberia, and of the 6, one is out, and he's Montserrat County District 9 Representative Prince Safuko. So we are with the remaining 5, and with the exception of legal representation, the police have asked individuals accompanying those invited to stay off the premises of the headquarters of the Liberia. Earlier on, we saw the former chairperson of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. From distance, I see the District 7 lawmaker of Nimba County, Representative Musa Hassan Bility, and he's having a chit chat with Representative Edward Papi Flumbo of District 13, Montserrat County. Two lawmakers are having a brief conversation. So, Musa Bility, Representative Nimba County, will now end the conversation with Representative Edward Papi Flumbo as he will leave.
Say no to the habit. Yeah, we check your song with the SB. You are already up now with you, Papi. I didn't get clearly. I didn't get you clearly, so I can tell what you said in jail. I didn't know. I didn't even think you know jail when I get you. Yeah, I heard you.
So stick still with us, folks. Representative Musa's ability is not a part of those invited by the Liberia National Police. And Senator Nathaniel Magio of Magidi County is coming out.
Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. You care to speak to our table and no update of what occurred in there. They were close up. Over.
So this is Representative Edward Papi Flomo. But the senator did not speak to the press. So some of the folks that have come here in solidarity with the former speaker, like Representative Musa Asambelete, Senator Nathaniel Magio, and others are leaving gradually. Why? We still have the folks in there. We cannot tell what is going on. We cannot tell what is going on, but this is why we are here, to bring you the happiness. And we will remain here to bring this broadcast to a logical conclusion. So once again, thanks for joining us. My name is Aisen Iva. I'm here with my colleagues, Aaron Talu. Earlier on, I was joined by Fabien Kuya, our judicial reporter. Keep sharing this broadcast. At first, the police, upon the invite, the lawmaker, Jonathan Fonanti Kofi, Francis Afoko and Dixon Sibo decided leaving the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. No. And we tried to inquire why were they leaving, but then the former speaker said he had no comment to be made. So we followed him up from within the compound of the Liberia National Police and came outside at the main entrance of the Liberia National Police, where his official vehicle was prevented from leaving, and then there was a police pickup crossed before the former speaker vehicle, and then another police vehicle was at the back of the convoy of Representative Frank Safoko, Jonathan Funanti Kofa, and Jason Sigo. So we later received information from the police that the folks had come out of the police HQ because they felt the police was actually wasting time, and they wanted the police to call them in immediately and question them after their arrival. So that prompted them to have left the police HQ, and then the police said, no, you cannot leave without our consent. We invited you in. We decide at what point in time to call you in for hearing. So you have to go back at the police HQ. So the lawmakers disembarked their vehicle and went in. And since then, they are still within the confines of the Liberia National Police, with the exception of Montserrat County District 9 lawmaker Representative Frank Safoko, and some of the folks who have come in solidarity with the following lawmakers have also left this place. Talking about Senator Magio of Magibi County, who is also from the Congress for Democratic Change, CDC. Representative Musa Asambelete, who also is an opposition lawmaker, has left. Representative Edward Papi Flomo was in, but he's out. Yes. So we are anticipating the former speaker under whose leadership the Capitol building caught fire, and he's a key person to this invitation that was extended to 6 lawmakers by the Liberia National Police. So with the outlook, you have to be trained you will have to be trained enough to know what is going on here by the Liberia National Police. So screening process is ongoing. You have to display your identity before given access to the premises of the Liberia National Police. So this is LNTV live from the This is LNTV live from the entrance of the Liberia National Police and that of the Temple of Justice of the Republic of Liberia. From the police is the main entrance. From the Temple of Justice is the back way to the Temple of Justice, where you have criminal court A, B, C, D.
The police are saying that I'm not going to change the next time to the
So we've been told to be in readiness because atmosphere here might change anytime, so we gotta be in a position of readiness. So stay with us as we are receiving signals that the atmosphere here might change. We can't tell whether for good or bad, but I guess the police will take some measures. So this is LNTV, and we had to take a water break to quench our thirst, because you know it's sunny out here. So we will do it right from the main entrance of the Liberia National Police headquarters as we await the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor Jonathan Kofi, Josiah Marvin Cole is a representative from Bon County. Edward Papi Flombo, I saw him somewhere around here. I guess he's still around here, but he's not. It's not a part of those that were actually invited. This is a serious matter. Just the fact that Liberians fought war for 14 years and the national emblem of the House of Representatives was untouched. Even though the Civil War was senseless, as some people will want to term it, but yet then still the war was fought leaving the Capitol building untouched. So to see in modern day and 21st century, people will set ablaze has been claimed in the report from the Fire and Rescue Alliance, the US-based fire investigators of retired fire chiefs. It is concerning, and Liberians have called for a logical conclusion into the Capitol building fire saga. Yes, we are live from the main entrance of the Liberia National Police, bringing you this broadcast. I'm Ayesiniba, and we say stick and stay with us, because the end or the conclusion to today's invite is key, and you don't want to miss out on it. So let's try to acknowledge few of our followers. I see Rachel Barkley is watching. Weeks, Setijale, Cliffos, is watching. Kuna Gato, a regular follower of LNTV, is watching this broadcast. Stevenson Swa is watching. Anthony Lafontaine is watching. Tony Zole is also watching. J. Charleston Alexanders is watching this broadcast. Morris Down is following. Prince Jimmy is also watching. Harriet Godson Theo is watching. Harriet Marcos is watching. And Mobile Kesali is watching. It says, thanks for your good job. Patrick G. Waika is following from District 2, Mosurale County. Cassius Koi is following from Bangabong County. Jirio Mountain is following from India. Jelly. Jefferson Peter is watching from Sanikule, Nima County. Yes, we are waiting. Emmanuel Palei is watching from Fuya. John Thomas Grief Primary School System is watching. Logan Jr. is watching. Michael Tupa is watching. Eton Telly Kanga is also watching. Stanley Vino Sulu is following from his office at the MPA, National Port Authority. DD is following from New Jersey. Toko M. Kula is watching from Capital Bypass. Yahweh Blessing Lomax is watching from Bandersville, Travis Market. Daniel Sa is following from District 11, Mosurado County. So for you who just joined this broadcast, you recall the fire situation at the Capitol building where several lawmakers were invited by the Liberia National Police then, and later they had to go back home. That investigation is still ongoing. So today the Liberia National Police invited 6 representatives, to include the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Jonathan Fonati Kofa, Representative Josiah Marvin Cole, Representative Abu Bana Kamara, Representative Priscilla Cooper, Representative Jacob Devi. Yeah, they all, including Representative Prince Afoko, were invited by the police, and of the lawmakers that were invited, only one has left the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, and that lawmaker is Representative Prince Afoko of District Number 9, Mosurado County. So the remaining lawmakers are still in, including the former Speaker of the House of Representatives. So we are here to see the outcome of this invite. Yes, we are here to bring to you the outcome of this invite. So stick and stay with us. Gontawan, Bomi, Bellier is watching this broadcast from VOA Ravas P. Highway. Zebi Romeo is watching from Banga Central, Liberia. Samuel Salabasa is following from Florida. Jala Musa is watching from Bukana, Grand Bassa County. Thanks for watching. Yes, we are still live here to bring you a live coverage. David Momo is watching from Grand Cape County. Agogo Tama is watching also from Anthony L. Jala is watching from Millville, New Jersey. William K. Smowu is watching from New York, Staunton Island community. Thanks for watching also. PTM Corden is watching. Willie B. Moore is watching from Wiala Magidi County. Adolphus G. Kofi is watching from Police Academy, Monrovia, Liberia. Gadwo Farm is watching with eagle eyes. So from the outside of the police HQ, we also have officers being deployed and making sure that folks accessing this facility are identified properly. Journalists from various media institutions across the country, print and electronic, are here. Some started going live, but had to bring the broadcast to a closure because of the internet connectivity here, but we are still broadcasting. That is not an excuse for us. So this is why we are still here, making sure that you watching can capture all of the actions from the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. So wherever you are watching from, however or medium you are watching via, I'd love to say thanks for joining us. MTV live from from the headquarters of the Liberia National Police on this 6th day of June 2025, where lawmakers, including former Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 55th National Legislature, I've been invited by the police in connection to the fire incident at the Capitol building. And of the 5 of the 6, one is out. One is out, and that lawmaker is the District 9 Monserrato County, Friends Safoko. Yes, so we will acknowledge few of our followers once again as we await. Lawrence Polly is watching from Beirut, Lebanon. Emmanuel Gore is with us. Polly is watching from 19th Street. J. Alex Wiega II is watching from Kakata Bon, 1 Mile Road Community. Paul S. Harris is watching from Randall Street. And Prince Jermaine is also watching the broadcast. Shet M. Sema is watching live from his residence. Fidel Fala is following from Omegas. And Prince Jermaine is also following from Europe. Sammy Joseph is watching the broadcast. Zoe Mengwa is following from Maryland, the USA. Yusufu Jawa is also following from Greece. Carol Law is watching from New Georgia Tusafi community. Kofi Smart is watching. He says, "Good work, guys." Naomi Tia is also joining this broadcast. But yes, still live from the main entrance of the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. Gadier Beseji is following from Sunny Police City, Nima County. Charles Weibe is watching from New R site. and Medical Center, 72nd Community. Somewhere Salagbasa is asking, is this Ayeshin from Bokiza? Certainly, this is Ayeshin River from Bokiza town in Lofa County. Yes, thanks for watching as well, but this is a live broadcast. From the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, where 6 lawmakers are honoring the invitation of the Liberia National Police in connection to the fire incident at the Capitol building. And one is out. I think he was talked to by the Liberia National Police and was asked to leave. Yes, but the remaining lawmakers are still in, to include the former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Councillor Jonathan Funaki Kofi, and also a member of the Unity Party, Representative Priscilla Kopo of District 5, Moxurado County, who is also a lawmaker of the ruling Unity Party, and she was accompanied by her lawyer, businessman Bobby Kalando. They both drove together in the same vehicle and entered the headquarters of the Liberia National Police here in Central Monrovia. It's 29 minutes to 2 o'clock. We've been here since morning, making sure that you capture the happiness So the headquarters of the Liberia National Police is not easily being accessed by folks who will usually come here. of the journalists are even tired, and I had to take a break. And once their actions, they will resume their broadcasts.
People like to spell that in an English way, and so the English people just go and learn and have to understand. Apparently, because it's going to be spelled in the starting with N apostrophe.
Yeah, so I think that's a little bit maybe spelling it
His honor, what? You are tapping your honor? What? The give of power?
See folks from the Liberia Council of Churches just arrived here. So as usual, when there are issues of concern, especially serious matters of national concern, obviously you have the allowed to intervene in the situation or to be a witness to whatever decision or actions that may arise from, and say conversation. So yes, So whether or not those accused will take a flight to the Supreme Court, that is if the police deem it necessary and that they have sufficient evidence to indict the lawmakers, then it's just going to be an issue of crossing the road from the headquarters of the Liberia National Police right in the compound of the Temple of Justice here. So let's wait and see what will be the outcome of this invite. So we continue again with folks joining this broadcast. Peter Richardson is following from Iowa, USA. Decon T. Smith is watching from Greenville, Sano County. Adolphus Hoff is watching from Minneapolis, the USA. We say thanks for watching. Aaron Perry is watching from Johnsonville. I guess District 2, Moxurada County is where you are watching from. Momo Nelson is watching. Thanks for watching. Goyi Sylvester Nuno is following from Minnesota. Thanks for watching. Sylvester Wisse is watching from his office. And Bidoya Kakata. Peter M. Corden is watching from Morris's farm. District 3. I guess this is Mossorati County. Oliver Johnson is washing from Limba County. James Friedman is watching from 10th Street along the Tottenham Boulevard route. Jefferson Peter is watching from Sunny Quality, Limba County. So this fellow is an officer of the Liberia National Police, but he failed to adhere to the instructions from the police, though he's in mufti or color clothes. He's being told to get out. Even though you are an officer of the Liberia National Police, but you will get out. So he
This is what's happening here. So you have tension and engagement right here.
Nada,
Alright, so this is where we're at. Thanks for joining us. We're Alright.
I'm going past the basement. You must say what I'm
One point he keep from there. He cover one gentleman.
So Haji, just
I said that collect something and on his way back, the police could not identify him and ask him to put back. You have to put up some move. You know how security officers they don't let the people overlook, especially when they kind of promise. So if they happen to you put back, you don't have to have and allow him to go in there. As for the council of churches, obviously we told them that we cannot go to the church of quarters or wherever the investigation is taking place because there was a sensitive matter or the police is not investigating or NMP special group or civil society group. So it's just one and a half to allow people to outside of the security arrangement to be part of the investigation. Nothing, obviously, the situation here is not what many thought they were in terms of violence, in terms of overcrowdedness. The crowd here is very counted. Support us because it's not something like the question is answered now what will happen next. Okay, then we say that the media on how and Lord
Hello.
So folks, we might just take a short break to do one or two adjustments, and then when we come live again, that live will be on for good till we get the outcome of today's invitation from the Liberia National Police to members, some members of the House of Representatives. It's sunny out here. So folks, stick and stay with us as we take a very short break, and the next time you see us live will be the exiting of the lawmakers who were invited here today by the Liberia National Police, and they are still in as we speak, and their invite was prompted due to the December 18 fire incident 2024 that saw the rotunda of the National Legislature being set ablaze. And yes, being the speaker in charge then, former Speaker Councillor Kofi is among the 6 representatives that were invited by the police, and of the 6, 1 has left based on the police inquiry, but the remaining 5 Representative Francis Afoko has left. So now we are left with the former Speaker, Councillor Former Kofi, Representative Abu Bana Kamara of District 15, Mosurale County, Representative Jason Sibo of District 16, Mosurale County, Representative Jacob Debbie, and Representative Priscilla Cooper of District 5, Mosurale County, who is a member of the ruling Unity Party. She's also here. So we will bring this broadcast to a closure and we will resume as soon as all is set and ready to bring this invite to a logical conclusion. I'm Ayesin Iwa, and thanks for watching. Stay with us because we will join you very shortly.